highly controversial moment that had a huge impact on the game. Let's bring the journos in, Buzz Rothfield and James Hooper. Let's get straight to it. Let's not beat around the bush. This has divided the rugby league world over the past 24 hours. A lot of people having opinions on this call on Joseph Sua'ali'i. How did we see it?
I don't know why we're even having a debate. I thought he had to go. We had a national television audience. We had 4 million people, not all rugby league people watching the game. A marquee player, the face of Queensland, brutally taken out, an illegal hit, shoulder to the head. Absolutely no question it was a send-off.
What do you think, Hoops?
Yeah, Braith, in the modern game, it's direct contact with the head, it's forceful. Joseph's left his feet. Yes, Reece Walsh was slipping, so there is an element that also needs to be factored in. But I commend the referee, Ashley Klein. I think he showed a serious set of stones on that stage with so much intense focus on this contest and what it means to both states to make that call in the 8th minute of a match. It takes a lot of conviction and intestinal fortitude, and he showed it.
And I think a lot of people have it upside down. It's our greatest showpiece because of players like Reece. There is no popular player than him. You don't want to lose anybody to injury. And with that tackle, is it an accident? Maybe. Is it not? He's gone out to force. And no one likes seeing Joey in his debut match go, but he hit him in the head. And it's a send-off. And then people saying, it's state of origin. So your brain, right, is less important in a state of origin than it is at club level. At club level, send him off. A brain trauma in state of origin, you go, no, he's allowed to stay on the field.
It's a tough one because really in a club game, it's a send-off straight away. We know that. And we're trying to protect the player and protect the player's head. So, and if you're a New South Welshman and it was one of your players, you're saying send-off straight away. But my thing with this is, there is mitigating circumstances, but still it was enough for him to be sent, I believe. But he was slipping and he lost his feet before he threw the pass. Sua'ali'i had already been set to tackle him. And you watch here, he completely loses his feet. So Sua'ali'i you can see there, like, he's passing the ball. Joseph hasn't even got to him, and he's not even, his feet are sliding into the tackle. So there are mitigating circumstances here. And for me, always with a send-off, and with Origin being as big as it is, normally it's when a player is, with intent, going to take someone's head off intentionally.
I get that. You make there's some great points there, and you're correct with all of them. You watch Liam Martin's hit in the second half on Hopgood. Flies out with the same intent, hits him just as hard, hurts Hopgood.
And what happened?
Where did he hit him?
Yeah, but what happened?
But if Hopgood slips, he hits him in the guts, he hits him in the ribs.
Yeah, but
so like a great defender, his tackle technique is lower. But he just had to aim lower.
Is a send-off too severe, though? Like, could it have been 10 in the bin, though, Buzz?
But you're arguing a slip of the feet by Reece Walsh. On a rugby league field, in every game, every week, players will slip on slippery surfaces. Now, that doesn't mean he has to leave himself open to being knocked out in the manner in which he was.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that he shouldn't have been sent. I'm just saying there are mitigating circumstances, and I worry about the game as well as head knocks. I worry about the game. It's Origin. You've got families that are paying hundreds of dollars to be there, and you could argue that after 7.5 minutes, I believe the game was over, and possibly, I'd say most likely, the series. I was there with the punters last night, listening to what the punters had to see, watching people leave at half-time at an Origin match. We do need to protect the actual game as well, like the actual...
You know what's far more... I don't want to keep interrupting. It is far more important to protect Reece Walsh. And superstars like him, who was knocked unconscious against Penrith by May earlier this year.
I agree,
he was
Buzz.
knocked unconscious again last night. We're not even halfway through the season. He is the face of rugby league.
I get it, and I agree with you. Why couldn't?
Do you think they're targeting him?
Why couldn't? I'll get to that. Why couldn't they just 10 in the bin? That
was a referee call. That was a referee call. He said immediately, as soon as he saw it unfold live, he said, "I'm thinking send off." Okay. And then the bunker was obviously also involved in reviewing the situation.
Then Queenslanders would have thought it'd be unfair on them when you lose a superstar like that
for the whole game
for foul play. And someone gets 10 minutes.
I think we need to change it. I think we need to protect the game in all aspects. So
maybe lose Joey, bring a replacement on, and he comes on after a certain time.
He can activate the 18th man after a certain time. In the rugby union with a red card, a player goes off for 20 minutes and then they can bring a player off the bench.
Something like that.
So I think we need to look at it because
No, Braith.
Why?
We have to make tackles like that not happen ever again. We need
hang on,
massive...
please
No,
stay
hold
on.
on. Just let me finish. We need massive deterrence for players like Joseph Sua'ali'i to launch himself the way
great
he
point.
did.
He's
Great
had a-
point.
We
So
do,
why did-
and if
so
you
why did
know
they-
you
why
can
did they
take a
only
risk,
give him-
I'll build him high, I'll go off in 10 minutes.
he's
we'll
missing,
have-
he's
not
missing
letting
4 or
his-
5 weeks, Buzz.
But his team doesn't get affected if you're allowed
Yeah,
to
but I'm saying
replace
they
him.
should be affected, but I don't know about the
We've
severity
had a
of it.
send-off rule since 1908, Braith.
Has that been a send-off since 1908?
Well, it should be. In today's game...
No, I'm saying it is in
it's got
today's
nothing
game.
to do with what...
You brought up 1908.
No.
Has it been a send-off since 1908?
It's got nothing to do with what era
So you want
we're
to
in.
back up what you just said, Buzz.
Well, I'm backing up and saying that is a send-off every day of the
Has it
week.
been a send-off since 1908?
Well, it should be, yes.
It should be now. But
Yes.
has it been?
No, it hasn't. But
That's
we're
the-
living... But you're... I don't know why you're blowing up about going backwards. We're in a modern era with concussion.
Yep.
And we know so much more
Yep.
about CTE.
Yep.
So we adjust our rules.
I
We
get
used to
that.
have unlimited tackle, then we had
I get
4
it,
tackles.
I get it. And if we go too far, Buzz, there
We
won't be a game.
cannot-
There won't be a game.
Oh, Brace, stop it.
People will stop watching.
There won't be a
you
game
not
if
think
people
that? Are
like
you worried
Reece
about that?
Walsh get another knock this year,
No, but
and then another one next
I get
year.
it, Buzz.
And then,
We've got to protect the player. I get it, but we've got to protect the brand. We've got to protect our game. The greatest game of all is the greatest game of all for a reason. If we keep going down this
But it's
path...
the greatest game because players like you cannot. I'm a strong believer, and I've said it on this desk for 3 years. I believe as a ball carrier, because you got courage, I think you should be able to run as hard wherever you want, and your head should be protected.
I get
and if
it.
they hit you in the head, it should be sent off now.
And Bryce,
And 4 weeks for that is not a deterrent.
No, but hold on. We are the greatest game of all anyway. We know the brutality of this game, and we don't need incidents like that to ram home the fact how...
That's why he got suspended, though, didn't he? The Origin series could be over. It's pretty much over.
Yeah, but it is a bigger deterrent to make that tackle if you know you're going to leave your team with 12 men.
It's such a tough one, Buzz, and I'm not...
I
Because I agree with a lot of what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I think we've got to be very careful, and we've got to come up with some sort of solution in a big game like this, because I just think the number one, we've got to protect our players, but we've got to protect our brand. That's just how I see it.
It's a gladiatorial game, Braith. It's one of the most brutal sports in the world, but the rules are still the rules. And in this instance, Joey got it wrong. It was foul play,
don't
100%,
disagree.
right?
Don't
I
disagree.
think that they got the decision right. I do like your idea, though, about he's gone, right? He's sent off, and then he gets hit with a harder line suspension. 4 weeks, to your point, Gordon, probably isn't long enough. Maybe they need to start
add that.
hitting them harder.
Hit him harder with that.
I
when
reckon
it
he got
comes to
4
the
weeks because
suspension.
he let his state down.
Probably.
Yes,
And
because
then
he was off for
Michael,
72
then in
minutes,
Origin
and
too,
the result was over.
If you know you've got a backup plan, you can bring someone off the bench in 10 minutes. Michael Maguire will say as they run out, don't forget, you've got to take Walsh out of this game.
No,
and
come
you
on,
do.
Buzz.
You do. You don't
If you're
think...
going to miss 8 weeks at clubland, you're not going to go and just go try and take some bloke's head off.
Well, he's
But
not
a
missing
state of
eight.
origin
No, but
coach might not.
this is what I'm saying, Buzz.
State of origin coaches don't coach in NRL.
Yeah, but that's you got to be smarter as a player. You know where your bread's buttered.